Good evening, inmates. Welcome back to Arkham Asylum. Last time we stopped the Joker from poisoning Gotham's water supply. Now it's time to deal with a bit of aftermath and also take care of Poison Ivy.
I know you're down there, Bats, ruining my plans. Well, stay where you are. I'm sending down a token of my displeasure. Oh gosh, I hope it doesn't hurt you too badly.
Well, that almost got a little bit dicey there at the end. If you don't really damage the Titans when they're stunned like that, they will regain health. So, that's something to keep in mind. We have another upgrade to grab, so, well, we're gonna have to grab Armor Upgrade version 2, which will increase our total health 50% beyond what it was before. And we've got a couple things to drag down here. That's pretty much one of the hardest fights you encounter in the story. There was the 2 Titan fight inside the Botanical Gardens. That one's pretty difficult. There's this one. I'd call this the second hardest fight. And then there's one more we'll be running into, which is the, I'd say it's the hardest fight in the game. And it's also pretty much the last fight, so that's nice. Way up, we grab a Chronicle of Arkham, and we also just need to blow this elevator counterweight real quick. And so we'll continue on our merry way up. We finally made our way out of the sewers and back onto Arkham Island.
Ivy's getting stronger. I need to stop her now.
I think she's still in the gardens where you left her, but she'll be in control of it now. You'll be walking into a trap.
That's what she thinks.
There is a sniper to take out here just because, well, it's good practice. And after that, since we're passing by the visitor center, it only makes sense to make another stop by there and see what the Joker has to say.
To me now.
Poison Ivy will taunt us regularly as we're heading through the area, but it shouldn't be anything too bad. I am going to stop by and pick up a few riddles that I missed earlier. Up here on top of the penitentiary, there is a door with a cryptographic sequencer lock. On the inside of it is that Riddler trophy, for one. You do need the range amplifier to get this one. There's this trophy, and then if you look over here, here's a card game Mr. Zaz left in the middle of playing. As was mentioned...
I don't believe it. How did you work that one out?
As has been mentioned, Mr. Zaz likes leaving his victims in lifelike poses, so he must have killed those 3 guards and then, well, made it look like they're playing poker. He continues to be insanely creepy.
I once went to a psychiatrist. Doc, I said, every time I get into bed, I think there's somebody under it. I get under the bed, I think there's somebody on top of it. I was going crazy, so I cured myself. I cut the legs off my bed, and then the doctor. Slept fine ever since.
How nice. As before, if you walk away a little bit and then turn back, the Joker puppets will have moved a bit. The one on the left is no longer in its chair, and instead of having his arms crossed, they're now on his hips. So, I still think that's a neat touch. I do plan on taking the long way to the Botanical Gardens, because there's a few things to pick up along the way as far as trophies goes. Now that we're at the gate for Arkham East, if we hop up here, there's a wall to drag down, and inside this wall is another riddle to solve. Up inside this little alcove are a couple containers of the Scarecrow's fear gas, which probably explains how he got it into the asylum. And right on the ceiling here is another wall we can drag down for another trophy.
What do you think you can do, Batman? I am everywhere. My babies know your every move. You and your kind are arrogant enough to think you can destroy us. You will fail, and we will become the most powerful force on the planet.
Something tells me Ivy has maybe gone a little bit mad with power. Don't know why I say that, but it just seems to be the case. We'll set her to rights before long.
What? You found 75% of my challenges? This can't be right.
You will pay, Batman, for hurting my babies.
Oh, God. Did she ever stop going on about those blackbirds?
When I finish with Batman, I'll be coming after you, Joker.
Will you really? That's gratitude, is Will you give them presents, experimental tools, nice costumes, and they still turn on you? Lucky infants. I got an army, a city-sized dose of Titan, and a bag of weed killers. Come and find me. Ooh, it'll be fun. You can bring the wine. I'll make the salad.
Yeah, so there are snipers here, which is something I may have forgotten about. They're about as threatening as they ever are, which means if you get spotted, you need to get out of sight pretty quickly. But
It's rude to keep a girl waiting, Batman.
if you get the drop on them, they're not too hard to deal with. Surprisingly enough, over the course of this LP, I've had a couple different problems with snipers. First time I've had them, they definitely have a much longer range and a wider vision radius than I originally gave them credit for. They've actually been the case for 1 or 2 game overs over the course of it, which is probably the first time I've been killed by the snipers. So, I guess doing the LP just makes me bad at games. With both snipers out of the way, we're pretty much free to make our way into the gardens, where Poison Ivy seems to be waiting for us. And as she said, it is rude to keep a girl waiting.
So you're here at last. Do you like what I've done with the place? My babies are growing, Batman. Come and see.
Now that we're back in the gardens proper, we do have to continue dealing with these plants.
Every plant you kill, Batman, just makes me angrier.
The difference is that now they shoot out 3 spores, which makes them a little bit more of a problem if you aren't using the multi-batarang. If you are using the multi-batarang, they really haven't gotten any harder.
More food for my plants. Stop it!
Sometimes that'll happen, which is why I'm always so wary about walking up to the plants, is that they'll spawn the spores right as you're going to destroy it. And
They've done nothing to you!
it can be irritating, but it can also be hand-waved. They don't do a lot of damage, but it will add up.
Are you ready for me? Do you think you can handle me? I'm waiting in here. Come to me.
The water is still electrified, so we still need to use the line launcher to get across here, but otherwise it's pretty straightforward.
Are you scared, Batman? You should be. You're only a man. I've got myself a little security, Batman. They'll just die if anything happens to me.
Ivy's brainwashed a couple guards, and we will see them again here shortly, but, well, too bad we don't have time to take any, what's the word? Gentleness with them.
I won't let you destroy it, Batman.
I told you to go to your cell.
I was a fool. I thought the plants were in pain. Now I realize they were evolving, growing stronger. And now we'll grow together.
Give in to a more powerful force, Batman.
Of course. Poison Ivy's big plant will bring up vines on the platform you're on. You should do your best to avoid them. though it
Feeling
won't
the
always work.
pressure?
Every time you get tagged, you're going to have to mash the A button to get out of them. Aside from that, you pretty much just have to keep throwing batarangs at her.
My plans will carry you and your precious Gotham free.
When the spores are being shot, the bulb will actually open up and reveal Poison Ivy, during which you can throw a batarang and do a lot more damage. Once she goes down, you can run up and plant some explosive gel on her bulb, and, well, it has some pretty nice
What are
results.
you doing? He's trying to hurt me.
In Phase 2, you still have to worry about avoiding the vines that crop up, but you also have to worry about some of Ivy's security.
You cannot beat Mother Nature, but you can.
Overall, this boss fight really isn't very exciting. It's okay. It just doesn't really tantalize the senses. There's nothing really remarkable going on here. A lot of it's just, you know, waiting for the pattern to be over and then reaching up and hitting her on the face, which is okay. It has a pretty decent difficulty progression. You go from just dodging vines to taking out vines and everything else. It's a very direct progression. It's just not a very inspiring boss fight, which is okay. Arkham Asylum boss fights at large are not amazing, but it's a good start. We plant one more set of explosive gel, and it's all over but the crying.
Monsters. You don't want to miss it. So get your ass over to the cell block, or you'll miss your final surprise.
So, we're finally on the last leg. We could go straight to the ending, but I don't want to. Please join me next time for the Riddler Roundup, where we find all the trophies and the riddles, and then we'll make our way towards the final fight.
Every day I found the patients more distracting. Their insane mutterings and constant twitching disgusted me. There was only one way to cure this evil. Only one way to purify the city and ensure its future. I needed to prepare myself. I needed to be ready.